Our next stop, Minnesota. The Vikings named Kyler Murray their starting quarterback. It was the expected conclusion to the team's competition despite a rocky series of practices leading to the decision. Murray spoke about the process as he begins the second chapter of his NFL career.
I take this, this job with great pride. There's been a lot of great quarterback play here in the past, and I just hope to continue to carry that tradition on. It's everything I expected it to be. I didn't expect to be handed the job or anything like that. I just expected to come here and compete, and I'm very appreciative of how it was handled.
At the moment, according to our friends at DraftKings, Minnesota fourth in the odds to win the division. But in this KOC offense, what should we be expecting from Kyler Murray?
This is the easiest place to play quarterback in the NFC this year, along with the Los Angeles Rams. Kyler Murray was the #1 pick. If he is any bit of shell of himself that he's had in moments of his career, this offense will be very good. Now, there's a lot of jobs on the line in Minnesota. I think the world of Kevin O'Connell. I think he's a phenomenal coach. If you go 9-8 again, and it's in main part because of the lack of quarterback play, that seat's going to get hot. That's just how this league is. And so Kyler now, it's like, hey, you got to save everybody's job. There's a new general manager there now, not the guy that was part of hiring and drafting and all that stuff. So there's a lot of pressure on Kyler Murray. He's got to do the one thing he's never done. Kyler's always been a playmaker. Always. You go look at the high school highlight tape. You look at the college highlight tape. You look at the Arizona Cardinals stuff. He's been a playmaker. You don't have to be a playmaker in this offense. The playmaker is the coach. Let the coach be the star.
Steve, you spoke with the Vikings recently. What are the expectations for you in Minnesota with Kyler at the helm?
Well, just going further, Kyler he's #1 pick. He's always played in a college system, high flying. He's never played in a system like this.
Right.
So he's only been in the system for 3 months. So he has been a little bit behind. He was also vocal and pretty pissed that he wasn't getting the reps. When you are fighting for your job, you're coaching these guys, you are going against competition. You're not getting coached to be the starter. So that kind of variates things. But at the end of the day, I was told he's been doing a great job of going through his progressions. He doesn't always have the great chemistry with the receivers because that takes time. But he's taken some time in the offseason on his own to get ready to show, get mentally prepared. And ultimately what they said is he has sat in a pocket and gone through his progressions a lot better than anyone has seen him do in a very long time.
That's the key.
And they are really surprised because he presents something that J.J. McCarthy doesn't. When and if things break down, he can use his legs to get open and get the plays going, but he can throw the ball down the field and he go through his progressions, and ultimately he won the position because he is the better quarterback. He's a veteran. That's why.
He's got a pretty deep ball, too. Detroit's dealing with some injuries. Chicago's dealing with some injuries. NFC North is deep, but also there's some vulnerabilities. How serious a threat are these guys to win the division?
I think they have an opportunity to actually win the NFC North. All the teams in that division, they have their own issues going on. When you look at the Green Bay Packers, Michael Parsons, when is he going to come back? How are they going to get a pass rush? When you look at the Detroit Lions, center Cade Mays, he's injured. Guys in the secondary on defense. When you look at the Chicago Bears, Kobe Bryant hurt. A lot of guys in that secondary who turned the football over or had takeaways, they're no longer in that secondary. So every team in that division is dealing with their own issues. But for a guy like Kyler Murray, this is also an opportunity to say, I do belong in this league. I should be valued like I was when I was the #1 overall pick. Here's the flip side of that. If you don't go be that guy that everyone is expecting you to be, how is it now going to be looked upon amongst the NFL? Because you have the best receiver in the game in Justin Jefferson. You have one of the better pass catching groups. You have a solid offensive line and a damn dominant defense. If you can't make it work in Minnesota, I'm going to look at it like you can't make it work anywhere.
That's what I'm saying. There's not a place in the NFC that it's going to be easier to play quarterback than Minnesota outside of the Rams. You're going to have a defense that's top 5 in the league in basically every meaningful category. You'll have one of the better offensive lines. You've got a pass catching group that if you throw Hawkinson in there is about as good as anybody.
Agreed.
And you got a play caller that's a 10. So this is not hard to go play at a pretty good clip for a guy that is as talented as Kyler Murray. This is a layup that is there for him to just run with.
Do you agree? Should we be taking this team a lot more seriously than we currently are?
This team stunk last year with 9-8. Think about that. I came at you kind of hard, Steve. I came at you kind of hard. Yeah, but this team stunk was 9-8. Think about it. And a lot of it was due to the fact that the quarterback was awful, but they got great defense. The infrastructure around the quarterback is tremendous. And so if Kyler Murray, like Dan talked about, if Kyler Murray is even half the sort of what we think he is, this team absolutely can not only win in this division, but it can contend in the NFC as well.
Speaking of stink, our next stop is Cleveland, where yesterday we learned that Deshaun Watson, hey, that's a transition, son, will start the Browns' preseason opener against the Bears in Chicago on Saturday. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders will start the team's second preseason game at home against the Bills on August 22nd. Dano, the right move to start Deshaun Watson in the first preseason game?
Oh, I don't care about who starts in the preseason games. I've been adamant. Start Shedeur Sanders. If it's close, you have to figure out if you have a quarterback on your team for the future. For everyone that continues to tell me, like Deshaun, the Browns have told us this year doesn't matter. They traded away their best player. Their draft picks next year are like 4, 32, 30. They've got 1,000 draft picks for next season. You got to see if Shedeur's any good. If Shedeur is good, then you've got a potential advantage going into next year. If not, you need to find a quarterback. It makes no sense to me to play Deshaun Watson.
Watson getting the start in the first preseason game, Shedeur getting the start in the second preseason game. What's the message that sends to the locker room?
The message you send in the locker room that these guys are getting legitimate shots to win the starting job. But for me, I could really care less on the quarterbacks because I'm more excited about Denzel Boston and KC Concepcion.
Yeah.
Right? I think those guys are going to be something to see that you can build around, and I think the quarterbacks are the guys just so they can manage and get these guys ready for next year.
D-Wood, how do you think the players in the locker room are looking at this?
Oh, we see everything. I always say you can't fool the players. We can't fool the players. And I know Dan talked about, throwing Shedeur Sanders out there, but players see from practice to practice, day to day, who's out there making things happen. And if you go out there and put a guy out there that you know hasn't won the job, that's the quickest way to lose the locker room. True. So you got to go out there. If you're Shedeur Sanders, earn the damn job, and so you can be the day one starter.
I'm on the side with Woody. As a player, can I trust you as a coach that you're going to make the right decision? Because the players in that locker room know when you go out there on the football field, if it's supposed to be Shedeur Sanders or if it's supposed to be Deshaun Watson. The last thing you want to do is have your own players as a first-year head coach question if you are the guy for the job because you're not doing what's best for the football team.
Yeah, excellent point.
Yeah, yes. If it's close, though, like if it's
close, Dan, we know what a tiebreaker is going to go.
And if it's not close, then that's an indictment on Shedeur.
Right, exactly.
Deshaun Watson's only appeared in 22% of the possible games he could have played since 2020. Coming up, Ben Johnson wants the Bears to have the highest scoring offense in NFL history. Is he setting the bar too high in Chicago? Plus, we're heading to college football. Dabo already playing mind games with LSU and Lane Kiffin. The Bussin' Boys and the commissioner, Josh Pate. Join us next to talk college football and their